We're certainly looking forward to the next one right now, Sav. It's the Castrol Lamar Sports and GT's SA Tourist Trophy, the big one for the day. There's a lot of contenders that have come out from all around the world to try and win this one, and there is machinery of note about to go to battle here at Swartkops. Look out at the front end as the usual contenders will be there. There's a couple of drivers who had some bad luck last year. One of them is Roy Campos, one was Warren Lombard. But there's certainly no doubt about it that the reigning champions are going to be at the front end of this field. And Dave managed to catch up with them in pit lane. It's Jonathan and Mark Totoy.
Jono, you guys are real busy today, but this is like your annual event, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. This is a fantastic event. Really grateful for all the international guys that came out to race with us. And yeah, I mean, it's great to see all these fantastic cars. And it's pretty busy, but done some fitness training, so I should be all right today.
And it's warm enough. Mark Totoy, a lot of people don't realise you guys, actually between you have a little bit of talent in racing cars, been around a long time, done it all from karting all the way through. Pretty incredible. Now you're about to share a car in an endurance race.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing this a long time. I still love it. And like Jonathan said, big event for us. Last year we won the 45-minute. We were very, very tough with that. This year we've got our work cut out. I think we're only starting 7th on the grid, so it's going to be very tough. Very hot out there today, so I think we're going to be looking after the cars from about lap 5. It's going to be like a bit of a strategic race this year.
And a change up for machinery for the Detroit boys as well. Usually in the Lola T70 Spider, like Roy Campos is piloting there as he exits the pit lane. And as they make their way onto the circuit now, the Pretoria North Toyota pulls off. It's Lindenberg and Bailey at the front end. Peter Bailey, quickest in the qualifying, will dictate the pace going across the line. He's in the type car. Right on his tail is Kenneth Passon in an original GT40. Then you've got the Lola T70 Spider there of Roy Campos. Alongside him, heading down towards turn 1. Look at that. Tony Martin in a coupe version of the AC Cobra. There goes Lee Thompson in a GT40, also out of Trans-Africa Racing, just behind the two Trans-Africa Racing piloted machines there of Jonathan Totoy and Chad Tendashate. Some great stuff from the start of this one. 45 minutes of action coming your way right now, and we're on board here with Mark Totoy as they go flying past. A little bit of a problem there for Warren Lombard. Lombard had issues. Remember, he led the race. He was about 2 laps ahead and had some problems there on his Pep Boys Automotive AC Cobra. Looks like there's similar issues here now as he starts to drop into the back of the field. Alan Garrow gets past him. Van Marsh-Garkveld comes through as well. And you can see there's a little bit of problems there. Not quite the way he wanted to start, as even Johan de Bruin goes flying past him. Second of the Lindenberg Racing machines. Well, he's in second at the moment is Peter Lindenberg, but the second of those is just about to pass Warren Lombard in the background. Speaking of passing, Roy Campos applying pressure now. It's Tony Martin that's just ahead of Lindenberg, and Lindenberg loses out to Campos, under brakes into GNH Transport corner. Tony Martin in the backdraft Cobra hangs on for now. Can he keep it all together as they go across the line? A long way to go. There's definitely going to be some chopping and changing. Watch out for pit lane strategies to come into play as they get into the thick of it. Type cars versus originals. 11 car there. Absolutely amazing stuff to see. Lee Thompson at the wheel of that car as he heads right onto the tailpiece of that original GT40 just up ahead of him. Tendashate just ahead now of the two Detroit boys. The Marauder coming through there as well. Great to see that car in the hands of Ben van der Westhuizen. And you can see that there's going to be some big battles expected throughout this 45 minutes of racing. Campos already late on the brakes and into second place. Good move there from Roy Campos. Now trying to close down on Peter Bailey, who leads out at the front end. Two of the coupe AC Cobras behind them. Then it's GT40s. Looks like Lindenberg might be battling a little bit with brakes there. I'm not quite sure what's gone down there on that road to race machine of his. Campos already getting into the thick of the back markers, going through there on Werner Hutzenberg in that Porsche 916. That's a real interesting piece of machinery as well. Usually pilots a big 928 Porsche, but now in a 916, different machinery for him. There's Lombard in. There's definitely issues on that Cobra of his. So go on board here with the Detroits heading through turn 4, 914 on the left-hand side. In fact, look on the left-hand side there. That is Dirk Venter in the second of the Lindenberg Racing Daytonas, who's crashed out at turn 4. Very good possibility we may get a safety car here. We'll wait and see if the clock of the course agrees with me. But as they go up into turn 5, Detroit on Tendashate. Looks like problems there for Tony Martin. Also starting to slow slightly in the backdraft Cobra. And coming into pit lane, yeah, there's double wave yellows. Peter Bailey, the leader, dives in there and you can see he's realized there's safety car. Oh, Campos sees it last minute. Also gets in only just into the pit lane window too. So it's Chad Tendashate and Johan de Bruin who are out there now in 1 and 2 behind the safety car. Let's catch up with the drivers down in pit lane and see how it's going.
Yeah, good, eh? Under control. See, the guy lofted, so we're all quick pitting here. Because now the temperature's very hot, very hot. Me, not the car.
We're picking up a bit of overheating again. So a little bit worried, but we're pushing very hard. Bailey just doesn't seem to slow down, so I'm just trying to stay with him. So, but I'm going to have to slow it down a bit to keep the temperature down. So I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait for someone else's bad happenings before we can win this one, I think.
So more pit lane action as they all come in, realizing the safety car is out there. A couple of cars have decided to stay out a little bit longer than what they planned. There's no doubt about it. But pit lane strategy is usually dive in when the safety car's out there. The 914 has stayed out, so let's have a look and see whether or not that's going to change up for Abbott as they stay just behind the safety car. Looks like both Roy Campos and Peter Bailey back out. Kenneth Passon is now in pit lane. Let's find out how he's going.
Yeah, it's going very good. Car's fine. Yeah, fun and games. Lots of nice guys around, nice old cars, beautiful setting, but it's extremely hot out there.
We had no power. Came in, one of the spark plugs were loose, so we had to put it back in, and then now it just seems like it's overheating. No power. Couldn't even get into third gear. There's no power to get to third gear. One of those things racing. So hopefully next time.
Well, it looks like problems for Jana Kling in the second of those original GT40s as well.
What's happened is the gearbox blew up. So no gears, no oil in the gearbox. That's what's happened.
Oh, about to get underway again. I think safety car has moved back into pit lane, so we are back in racing. And the marauder, Ben van der Veste, is about to get marauded there by Roy Campos around his outside in the Lola T70. Detroit trying to run there with Lee Thompson and trying to find a way through. Maybe use Thompson as a bit of a blocker as they go through on some of the back markers there. That MGP of Franco Resca moving out of the way. Van Marschkartbolt, he's piloting up there with Michiel Campagna, and Michiel Campagna now in the car, pushing as hard as he can to get that Corvette of his as high up as possible and looking for a possible class victory there for those two. Remember, there's also index of performance that'll be big on the cards here and on the targets for a lot of these drivers. And speaking of targets, well, the target is on, and there we go. A change up for the lead. Peter Bailey has eventually been caught and passed by Roy Campos. Campos, we spoke to him in pit lane, said he was going to try and ease off slightly. Looks like Bailey might have to do the same. There's a lot of liquid coming out of the back of that car. Maybe it's some gearbox oil. And Peter Bailey's days might be numbered there. We'll have to wait and see. Kenneth Passon in the original GT40 there just ahead of Hudsonberg. Look at the onboard camera here from Jonathan Dutoy. He was behind Peter Bailey for a while, and you can see all the debris here as he closes in on the back end of Campos. So Dutoy, Campos and Tendashate all fighting for the win here. Chad Tendashate in the coupe version of the AC Cobra on the Daytona coupe and the Lola T70 Spider and its checkered flag lap. Roy Campos goes defensive on every occasion. He does not want to lose this one. Over the last 2 years, he's had some problems. He hasn't had a chance to win. He was devastated last year. And Detroit's, of course, are looking for a back-to-back victory here in the Castrol South African Tourist Trophy. Some back markers to contend with. They're going to be in the way, only just squeezing out the Abbotts. And there goes Campos on the defensive, right towards the line. Roy Campos is going to take the win. He hangs on to beat out Jonathan Dutoy and Chad Tendashate across the line. That's going to be one of the closest victories we've seen in the TT in a long time. The top three cars across the line in less than a second. That is brilliant stuff. And as always, exactly what the people have come out here to Swartkops to see at the Passion for Speed Festival. The 2020's champion is Roy Campos ahead of Mark Dutoy and Jonathan Dutoy and Chad Tendashate for Class A. Class B went to Kenneth Passon ahead of Josh Dovey, and Johan de Bruin took the Class C's. Down there, it was Kobus Brits, an incredible drive, taking the Class D's, and Ray Cornelison behind him.
So I know an epic race and a great finish.
Yeah, look, I mean, safety car after about 10 minutes, so Mark came in and said, good luck. You know, water temperature is 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and I've been short shifting. So I went out and I was short shifting. But I was able to stay with the leaders, and then caught Peter Bailey, and I think a water pipe came off on his car, and as a result, he spun off on his own water. And then I caught up to the Campos car, and then with 3 laps to go, I was like, I'm not looking at the water gauge, I'm just going to drive it like it's a sprint race. So I was pushing as hard as I could, hoping nothing would break. But yeah, stayed together, but just couldn't get there.
Roy Campos, a bit of a tactical race with the pit stops, but a thrilling final.
I think it's Jonathan Dutoy. One of the Dutoys was behind me. You know, fast, Cobra, fast. It was like a yo-yo, you know, the elastic band was like 5 seconds, then 2 seconds, then 5 seconds. And in the last 2 laps, the youth was coming through and the lighties are starting to squeeze me. I just started taking the wide lines, the defensive lines, and I survived 3 laps. If there was one more lap, I think I would have died. I must tell you, it was extremely fitting for a day like this to have a show like that. I hope the crowd enjoyed it.